Welcome back. Now, police are responding to an incident. It's breaking news where a car has crashed into a primary school in southwest London. Several people are being treated, police have said. Fire crews are also at the scene of the incident. Mark White joins us now with the latest. Now, fingers crossed, this school might have already broken up for summer. We just don't know.
Yes, so we're trying to establish just exactly what the term times are. No indication as yet that any school pupils are involved in this. It's been described, though, as a serious incident. It's all three emergency services that are attending. The Metropolitan Police put out a statement saying that we were called at 9:54 in the morning to reports that a car had collided with a building at the school in Camp Road in Wimbledon, and it says several people are being treated at the scene, and of course that they'll give further updates.
5 to 10 they were called. As Karen Malone was saying earlier, the kids would have been in school. If it is open still, the school, the kids would have already been in classrooms, so that's some consolation. Do we have any indication, Mark, about how seriously injured the people are?
No, we don't, but an indication, I think, from the London Fire Brigade in that they've sent fire appliances, normal fire appliances, but also 2 specialist rescue tenders.
That's to cut people out of the...
Yes, absolutely.
It's a Land Rover.
So they will attend all the major incidents where there are people who are trapped, and extricating them from that situation is particularly difficult. So these are highly trained specialist rescue units that can get people out of the most precarious of situations. So an indication, I think, that there are probably people trapped. Now, yes, if the school is in term, pupils would have been in the school, but we're told this vehicle collided with a school building.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that no school pupils were caught up in this. If indeed, as you say, they were actually attending, and you know it wasn't actually during the school break. But this kind of information will come through in the minutes and hours ahead. Clearly, there will be many parents that are worried out there. Police are just describing it at the moment as a serious incident which involves a collision with a building at the school. No more detail than that.
Because we always think, don't we, oh God, is it terrorism? Because that is often a method they use, vans, lorries, to drive into people.
Yeah, I mean, any time that kind of report comes through, of course, there is always concern about this potentially being a deliberate act. I think the thing to add there, just to try, if we can, to reassure people, is the vast majority of vehicles colliding with people or buildings are as a result of accidents and not a deliberate act. So, of course, it's noteworthy because it's collided with a school building, and there is obvious concern because of that. But no indications that we're getting at this stage, anyway, that there is anything untoward. So we just wait. What we are in the process of at the moment is a full-scale emergency response to deal with the casualties. Clearly, we will get more of an indication. And if there is a security concern, that kind of detail will come out relatively quickly, I would imagine.
Of course, coincidentally, Wimbledon tennis tournament is occurring just around the corner from this location at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's an added concern. This is just on the fringes of Wimbledon Common as well, so and next to a local golf course. So there's always, given this massive major sporting event that's subject to very significant security around it, there is always concern about the potential for anything happening near that event itself. We know, of course, that Just Stop Oil launched 2 protests at Wimbledon. So security is uppermost in the minds of those who are trusted with guarding that particular venue. But again, we must stress, no indication that this is in any way linked to the Wimbledon sporting tournament, other than just geographically, and the fact that, of course, also, it's a live, ongoing incident being attended by all 3 emergency services.
Has there ever been a protest, in your recollection, Mark, captured live on television where somebody throws jigsaw pieces all over a tennis lawn and runs around somebody in his 60s who you think might know a little better at that age?
Yeah, I mean, well, perhaps, you know, while still trying to achieve what is their fundamental aim here, of course, which is
infuriating everyone.
to get as much publicity as possible. They don't want to totally alienate themselves with every member of the public by pouring the likes of paint on it. At least you can pick up a jigsaw relatively quickly, hopefully, as they seem to have been able to do on two occasions.
But I guess
again, we should just reiterate, as we're talking about this incident with the school, we don't want to make a link to Just Stop Oil, because, as you know, this, as far as we know, has nothing to do with that, nor would that be the kind of tactic they would ever indulge in anyway.
And I think it was a jigsaw because they bought it once they'd got inside.
It was a jigsaw of Wimbledon tennis court, apparently.
Marvellous.
They're complete idiots.
Right, thank you, Mark. Well,
another expression for them, idiots.
Bring us the latest as you hear about the situation in Wimbledon, won't you?